I'm joined by Furndog, the head coach from exceL. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the inconsistencies we see in exceL, because one week you look amazing, like you beat Misfits, you take G2 all the way to the end game, and then the next week, or the next game, you just look a lot weaker. What is it about exceL that is causing these issues?
Okay, so I think it's a bit of two things. One is a bit of inconsistency. Sometimes we're really clear on how we play our game, sometimes we're not so clear, but I think it's a bit of us finding our feet as a team, finding what really works for us, how we operate best, and that's also a bit of, I think our team can honestly beat anyone, but then also can struggle against anyone as well, just the kind of styles we play.
Okay, so I do want to just ask a follow-up question there. What is it about the styles that you play that mean that you struggle against certain teams?
So I think it's been more so when we're experimenting with different styles than the ones that have necessarily worked. Maybe as time goes on, we kind of find our footing in one particular style more, but kind of being a new team, it's us finding really what is best for us, and that just takes some time, so. Yeah.
All right, that does make a lot of sense. Obviously, you took the loss against Fnatic yesterday. It seemed to be a pretty one-sided game in favor of Fnatic. Was that just maybe the experimentation with styles, or was that more of a player issue?
I think it was experimentation. I think I made a few mistakes in the draft and the setting up of the game. But I think, again, it's a bit of, when we get rolling, we can take the game to anyone. If we don't get rolling, we're in a situation where it's a little bit harder for us to really find how we execute on our game plan. So that's something we're really working on right now.
Because we have seen you execute really well in the G2 game, in the Misfits game. I want to talk about Vitality today. They look pretty strong at the moment. They look like one of the better teams in the LEC. What's your game plan coming in?
So Vitality are a team that just like to group and just fight, and it's like a rugby team, right? Or the League of Legends equivalent. For us, it's take the game to them. Play them at their own game, be aggressive back, take the fights on our terms rather than let them take it on their terms, and really take the game to them.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Will. It was great talking to you. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Medic. We'll see whether or not exceL can set up any scrums against Vitality and which pack's going to have the heavier weight. A bit of rugby talk that you're not going to keep up with.
Is it league or union?
Oh, I apologize
Sit
profusely.
down. I lived in Australia.
Oh, got wrecked. So let's turn our attention a little bit to the matchup. exceL branded themselves as the underdogs, as come into the league as a brand new organization. If you compare their start and their performances to that of Rogue, significantly better. exceL, they are scrappy. They do pull off some surprises, you know, taking out Misfits, who we're now learning are struggling a little bit. But the thing I like is when exceL play against better teams, they do tend to put up more of a fight than the teams that are around them in the standings. It's a unique perspective, and I want to see if it happens again.
They won't go quietly in the night is kind of like the motto for exceL. They do actually remind me a lot about Team Vitality. I like the fact that Furndog came out and said, you know, we know that Vitality, they're a scrappy team, they're one that like to brawl, go into that scrum, and we hope to meet them there.
Well, let's see what happens in picks and bans, because some of the champions that will be on the front foot, Cassio, Draven, Lucian, they've been taken away. So the power picks from week 3 to week 4 in the LEC have changed. Sylas is now removed, but you know, again, the Urgot is up there, the Aatrox, the Akali, still available for selection.
I feel like you have to ban the Urgot away from Cabochard. Oh, there we go. So they're going to leave everything open. So Lissandra, Urgot, both big picks that are still left open and available. The reason why I was saying ban the Urgot, it's because Jiizuké has actually prioritized going LeBlanc over the Lissandra, and so I think you could actually get the Lissandra anyway, that Vitality wouldn't immediately snatch it up, but now you just hard give away such a comfortable champion for Cabochard.
Yeah, but do you think Expect would be willing to play sort of the cannon into it or something? It's something we talked a little bit about, how Cabo could play into the Urgot as well, but today's opting to play the Urgot.
I mean, he could also do the Aatrox that he's flashed. That matchup is still a skill-based matchup. I do like that, like you're saying, since he has Kennen or Aatrox available to him, maybe you prioritize grabbing that bot lane. You already took some of the firepower away. The fact that Thresh, Draven, and Lucian are all taken off the board, that means Ezreal is the guy to grab. Yeah. And Attila has just been such a hammer in that bottom lane, so aggressive, playing so far forward. So take away some of these big comfort power picks like the Ezreal that he's played repeatedly.
Okay, so at least trying to hit the champion pools respectively. Of course, with the Sion being locked in, it could go on top, it could go mid as well. We know Jiizuké likes to play forward, likes to play pretty aggressive. So if exceL didn't want to play sort of a skill matchup or something in that regard, a little bit of flexing power. Camille and Kai'Sa join the duo, or the duo that join Urgot. And I'm seeing a trend, a theme, I think Vitality want to go forward and kill a lot of things.
And I do want to home in on the Camille. So most of the time, Mowgli does gravitate towards that Olaf. He is a very aggressive jungler. And how Vitality usually like to draft is they take winning matchups, and then it creates opportunity for Mowgli to play a very carnivorous jungle style to invade and duel repeatedly. So a champion like the Olafs, like the Camilles, fit right in his wheelhouse. So watch how Mowgli opens up this game as the first initial spark for Vitality's flame.
And very interesting difference in approach to this first phase. You've got very sort of all-in chase, run you down champions on Vitality's side, and a lot more reactive defensive options. You know, with the Ezreal, the Braum, the Sion. Obviously, Sion can run forward as well and be backed up by Braum. We need to see whether this will be a reactive defensive comp or round it out with something a little bit more forward-facing.
Ban the Alistar, get rid of the Pike, start taking away all of the kill tools that Jactroll could possibly grab. Because they decided to prioritize Mowgli's Camille, making sure that it wouldn't get banned away from him, it does mean that exceL are able to get the Braum. Normally when you see the Ezreal come out, it's very easy to grab a Braum support because he disables a lot of the damage that Ezreal can output, but the fact that exceL have it means that Jeskla can actually just run wild on this champion.
Okay, but now what about those other power picks? You know, Aatrox still open, Akali still open, Lissandra still, like, are any of them even preferred?
Yes, I mean, maybe you try to take the gamble that if you give away Akali or if you pick it out of red side here, that because you have Lissandra, it's available. With LeBlanc being banned, Akali and Lissandra are kind of the next two mid laners that come to mind, unless Exile is taking that Sion to the mid lane and can also feel free to give away an Akali. But well, I would say you pick it.
Okay, so gonna ban away Exile's Yasuo. He was a Yasuo one trick before being picked up and joining the EU LCS. And he's had some stellar performances this year on the champion. The mid lane pool's been pinched, but not the traditional pinches that we've been seeing. Furndog is furling his brow as they're gonna leave the mid lane pick potentially to last. Red side counter pick for mid or top in this case, because of course Sion could go either way.
And like you're saying, using that as a flex pick, we'll see what direction we're going to go. Akali, Lissandra, if it's going to be another kill-oriented support. Ryze completely slipped through the conversation. He's just such a all-round solid pick right now, as the likes of Galio have disappeared on 9.2.
And arguably, whoa,
that's
a fiddle support. Woohoo! Okay, Jactroll, fiddle support. And again, thematically appropriate, okay? Get the ball together and just run it down. But I mean, Ryze, I was gonna say, arguably Jiizuké's best champion. I'm a huge fan of what he can do on Ryze, and now we're gonna find out where exceL want to run into it. Expect will be taking Sion on the top lane. exceL will take the Syndra into the Ryze. And again, I think some options and some tools to play both defensive as well as offensive on the exceL side. I feel like a fairly well-rounded comp. And on the side of Vitality, if they ever get ahead, they will never give that lead up because so many of the tools just dive forward, chase, and run you down.
Yeah, but it is a lot about the mobility for Vitality, their ability to play a 1-3-1 to not necessarily always be that big 5v5, whereas naturally there's more pressure for exceL to play as a grouped up unit to use the poke advantage of Ezreal. Maybe you go fishing with a Syndra Scatter the Weak, and then if you like what you catch, you start throwing down the Sion and the Sejuani ultimate. So a very clean and easier composition to execute from exceL, but a lot more versatility and creativity from Vitality's comp.
I'm gonna put you in a pretty uncomfortable position, Froskurinn, and go, what do you think of the Kai'Sa Fiddlesticks bottom lane into Ezreal Braum?
Push, 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 push.
Yeah, shove in, shove in. And of course, if this allows Mowgli to come in and try to get a tower dive, use that Hextech Ultimatum. Hextech Ultimatum plus Crowstorm, that is going to be one very, very dead, well, any bottom laner.
I mean, like, yeah, the Crowstorm's always going to be scary from Fiddlesticks. If he gets a control ward, if he gets control of that that bottom brush, charges it up, and then can use it from lane phase. But I still feel like Fiddle's main purpose as a support is just to be obnoxious with crows, and then to also have that fear, which is such a unique CC in the game.
Yeah, I mean, the Terrify, really, really powerful. And it could be very game-changing if he's able to get into position. Now, of course, can't deny the fact that going to be a very, very squishy support. And we'll see exactly what he ends up building and itemizing, as I'm very excited to see my first Fiddlesticks in a very long time. Vitality are very clearly the favorites in this game, despite losing excessively yesterday. Oh, if that's not Union Jack, I'm going to be disappointed.
I think it was Dark Candy Fiddlesticks, but I didn't get a good enough look at it.
Oh my word. If it is Dark Candy Fiddlesticks and not the Union Jack Fiddlesticks, I think kaSing needs to be benched, all right? I'm looking at the exile owners right now.
No, it's
I'm saying you need to give this man feedback.
Calm down. I know you want to flame kaSing. It's okay.
I've done it.
But it's the vitality support.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
I know. You want it to like harden. You're like, kaSing, you have failed me. I'm a disappointed dad. It's okay, EDM Grandpa. I know your memory's going.
Oh my word. That's why the exile owners were looking at me like, dude, what are you saying? It has been a very long
It's
weekend.
still really good smack talk to run Union Jack Fiddles into exceL. I'll give you that one.
All right.
Wait, is it Dark Candy?
What I can confirm is the last time we
What
saw it was
is that?
summer 2018. And now I'm going to look for Vitality owners and say, Yamato, why is there not running Union Jack to add insult to injury into Vitality? Because I was saying before the pause, and I embarrassed myself.
It's okay. Happens every day.
Vitality are still the favorites in this matchup, right? And for me, it's about seeing what will exceL do, the 2 and 5. They have put up good fights against the likes of G2 and Misfits. So I want to see what level of fight they're going to bring to the table, knowing the Vitality playstyle and preferences. So in theory, you should be able to prepare for that, at least psychologically.
It feels like it's always going to be an option that when you're facing a team like Vitality, that you always just want to make sure that you have the ability to fight back. You know, as long as you have aggressive tendencies, if Vitality overreach, you want to have the tools that you can snap that trap shut and start, you know, counter snowballing.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if they can, because it requires a lot of execution to be able to do that, a lot of communication as well. I don't have an answer for you, so I'm not quite sure what that is. Just a quick update as well. The pause was related to one of the players on stage seeing another player alt tab. I believe Caedral saw Exile alt tab. He wasn't sure exactly why. Exile was just setting his in-game client settings, hence the unpause, and we're back into the action. I'm quickly taking a look down some of the summoner spells as Exile is getting hit real hard by Ryze. Overloads and autos doing a lot of work. Exile and Syndra needs a couple more spells before he can really literally push Jiizuké back.
Yeah, fancy footwork. The fact that Exile was trying to commit with the Q is hold on. Mowgli trying to get away with murder here.
Well, let's see what happens. Level 2 versus level 2 support is already moving. Jactroll is, at least he threatened the river, but he's instantly backed away.
Needs to be careful that Braum, okay,
Winter's Bite does not tag. And Jeskla, despite some damage onto Mowgli. Now, Mowgli is losing a lot of time. You know, he's trying to challenge for this blue buff. He did pick up his red, so he can quite easily go to the up left quadrant and take his own blue, but a little bit behind tempo, and Caedral will be thankful for that.
Yeah, but Mowgli's not done. He's actually going to continue to invade. In fact, you see that since he has priority from Jiizuké as well as Attila and Jactroll, he wants to fight Caedral.
Yeah, he is indeed. Precision Protocol comes down, and Hookshot has already been used. So the tactical sweep's not available to Mowgli yet. He gets some trading down, and I can see the thought process.
He won't leave.
Caedral's not being hurt yet. He's about to look at his wolf camp. Smite is available for Mowgli. Let's go for another fight. Hookshot comes in. Precision Protocol, that's the flash. Now Mowgli has made it worthwhile. The wolves will reset, and once their anger or patience meter resets, now Mowgli can steal away the camp. And a flashless Caedral, so a small win.
It can actually be a huge win because now you lose so much pressure on ganking any of these lanes, and that allows Jiizuké to be so far forward and so aggressive here. And Jiizuké is really playing with fire underneath a tower against a champion with hard CC.
Well, Jiizuké is able to escape with his life. The stun just out of tower range. 21 CS to 15. While that's happening on the minimap, Mowgli could go hunting.
He's gonna get double scuttled. He not only burns the flash on Caedral Sejuani, takes his wolf camp and makes sure that he doesn't reset the camp, but he also gets double scuttle. That's a huge win for Mowgli.
Okay, so congratulations to Mowgli, making this even more impactful and putting actually one of the highest impact junglers in the league in Caedral behind. Remember, Caedral has traditionally been one of the carries for exceL. He tends to play a style and champions over the past few weeks where he gets the lead, he gets the gold, and he's, you know, trying to push forward. And on a champion like Sejuani, he has to enable everybody else around him.
I do want to quickly hone in on the minimap of something that just happened, though. It was Jiizuké using his teleport. I think with kind of what we're seeing, what mid laners are doing with waves, Caps is especially good at this, Jiizuké as well. Their ability to deny so much CS because they're constantly taking mid laners, Lissandra, Ryze with those teleports, and then how you're seeing that reflected in very early CS counts. 32, I think it's going to be about, okay, I was going to say 19, he got the 20. It's still a massive differential at only 5 minutes in this game.
And exceL was one step away from losing the cannon. So managed to get in, lifted that one up and cleared a couple more waves. So big advantage there. Well, not numbers-wise, not yet gold-wise, at least as far as Jiizuké is concerned. Small advantage for Cabo as well. Obviously, the Urgot into Sion going to have a lot of push priority in the early stages of the game. Expect needs to get some armor on his belt, get a couple levels into that decimating smash to clear out the waves as well.
But this is classic Vitality. This is what they draft almost every single time. You can rinse and change out a lot of these different champions, but it's going to be the same thing. Push forward in your lane and start empowering Mowgli. Right out of the gate, he already slammed Caedral, tried to take what he could, and he's going to continuously try that as this game goes on.
Well, Vitality are going to be extremely thankful that there's an Infernal Drake on the cards. If the mid and bottom can stay this aggressive and keep pushing, it's going to allow Mowgli some time, or at least the opportunity to go for an early Infernal. We got a very brief glimpse there of Attila and Jactroll in the bottom lane as Jeskla teleported back in. He's got the Sheen picked up. But once those duos return to lane, I want to keep my eyes. Exile, that was a bold move. He used his skills to farm, so Jiizuké steps forward. Now Jiizuké is fighting in and amongst the minions. Remember, they are starting to do a little bit more damage. And Cabo, access to level 6, Fear Beyond Death comes out. Cabo needs a few more shots to reactivate it. That's a flash forward, doesn't have the damage just yet. Need one more! And Cabo unable to find the solo kill.
Very interesting trade. Hold on, maybe not over.
Well, how interesting will it get? Not much more than that. Cabo just miscalculating. That was very, very close to being able to find the execute.
That said, you're still starting to see the CS leads opening up pretty much across the board in every single lane. And again, there's Mowgli. His lanes are pushed forward. He's grabbing hold of information of Caedral and why that's so potent and powerful against exceL. You said it. I'll repeat it. Caedral is everything to this team. So if you keep tabs on him, nothing will happen.
Yeah, kudos to the Vitality squad for playing a very, very proactive game. Look at that. The Dark Wind just bounces between kaSing and Jeskla and just chunks them down in combination with the Acathian Rain. Now, expect's got ultimate available. Unstoppable Onslaught will connect. A little bit of damage. Roar of the Sayer and Decimating Smash comes up. And wouldn't you know it, Expect picks up first blood.
Some interesting early trades on the ultimate. Pretty much bites Cabochard right there. Big mistake. Expect comes out a massive win, and then what was an advantage in topside, completely gone.
And what we said just before this game, exceL as a team have stepped up and played at a high caliber when playing against teams on the top of the standings. Distinctly remember Expect dumpstering Soaz on that cannon. Early game, picked up a solo kill, you know, when Soaz stuck around. So Expect does it again, takes down Cabochard. Again, one of the best performing top laners yet. So small advantage to exceL, it's about 800 gold. But they need to find an answer to Mowgli. Mowgli right now is just, I mean, he's pitching a Vitality flag inside exceL's jungle and saying, this is mine now.
It's a question of what's he going to do after he takes that blue. Jiizuké is making the roam. Mowgli's in position. The wave is shoved in. I think he's going to pass it, but if Jeskla and kaSing aren't respecting it, in fact, you can see kaSing actually backed off of the tower, is trying to get a very cheeky, quick back in. But they might suspect that there's a possibility of a dive, which is why Jeskla is being so respectful.
All right, so tower's going to be under pressure now. As you mentioned, Jeskla and kaSing, the threat of the dive, the fear of the Camille, or Realm Warp as well from Jiizuké.
So many plays.
Back. Yeah, that's already 2 of them down. Jactroll takes a tower shot for his trouble. That Dark Wind bounce, a little bit painful. And now Caedral, he is level 5, doesn't have access to that Glacial Prison yet. He is now going hunting. We'll steal away these chickens from Vitality. And a little roam here from Jiizuké. Tower dive, or do you think that's bold?
I mean, it is Vitality. They do have a lot of damage, as well as the ultimate available for Cabo now.
All right, wave is very, very thin. 4 members. Tower is going to continue to chase out. Cabochard has connected Fear Beyond Death, but just, oh, he's just too tanky. Expect survives again in a 2v1. And actually, this opens up. This is huge for exceL, considering they have been shoved in for 9 minutes.
It's a great response, recognizing that Jiizuké is out of position. He doesn't have TP. He used it very early to get back into the lane phase to try to get an individual CS, so he can't respond cross-map pressure. Easy Infernal, and on an Ezreal Syndra, feels great.
Yeah, really, really does. So gold lead still sitting at 700. Very, very intelligent play from this exceL squad. And Mowgli is still on the hunt. Now, he's got access to the ultimate. So if you add the Hextech Ultimatum plus involved in one of your tower dives, this will make it significantly easier to pull off. And there are some pretty juicy targets. You know, if he wants to go mid or bot, Jeskla and Exile going to be a little bit easier to kill than expect on Sion, who's already got his Iceborne Gauntlet and actually has an 11 CS lead.
And you can see that a couple of pings actually went down bottom, so there's kind of a couple options. You try to make the gank onto Exile to initially burn the cleanse and then try to repeat once you don't have that safety and security, but because Syndra does have flash cleanse, maybe you don't try to force there, and instead you use the Ryze mobility out into one of the side lanes, either top or bot.
Okay, so Ryze right now, Realm Warp and Teleport available very shortly. The duo, and I'm trying to see where the vision is. With the Roam up top, Vitality have superior river vision.
It's like a runway.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a crash landing last time Jiizuké attempted it. When we take a look at the middle lane, Caedral's going to jump onto Jiizuké. The Unleashed Power comes out. It forces Jiizuké away. Now Mowgli is around to try and slow some of this damage onto the tower.
There's also an Ezreal ult that went fishing.
Yeah, terrible. Well, it depends what we were looking for. Didn't know actually what that was for. Could have been onto Jactroll. All right, exceL, all of a sudden, they've turned the pressure back around. Controlled the mid lane thanks to Caedral and his flash engage. Jeskla and kaSing have done enough damage onto Jactroll to get a couple plates back in return. So is this at 1 or 2? I'll wait for the minimap to update. Jiizuké looking for an engage. She has Caedral to back up. Cabochard's Fear Beyond Death is available, and he's got the flash heal in case he wants to chase. 1 plate secured bottom, 1 plate secured middle in favor of exceL and 1,000 gold leads.
Yeah, just starting to stack up that plate advantage now. Expect May. I don't think he's going to get in time.
I mean, it's 1,000 gold advantage just for Expect in the top lane. And of course, that will make up some of the difference. The Disdain comes out. Now Cabochard's going to try again. This time around, Expect is taking some damage. Won't be able to channel long enough for the knock-up. Cabo continues to fire with those shotgun knees. And it is just non-stop. This is Vitality. They're going for that tower dive. Here comes a Crowstorm. Jeskala's in trouble and already dead. kaSing follows shortly thereafter. The teleport is being channeled and cannot be cancelled. But Vitality have already escaped. They grab themselves 2 kills and they get out.
I mean, the damage has been done, but there's not a lot gained outside of the kills. It's not like Vitality are stacking 4 members and then forcing pressure on the tower. I think the big win is that Cabochard, because Expect had to follow the TP, now gets a lot of this minions to himself, although now ganked because here comes another TP.
All right, Caedral doesn't have access to his ultimate though. Needs to get a couple more stacks on that passive. Mystic Shot comes out. The stun should land very shortly. Will they dive? Yes, they will. Winter's Bite. Not going to be enough. Woo-hoo! Jeskla cleans it up for the last second Mystic Shot. Expect may have won a 2-on-1. Roar the Slayer, Roar the Slayer. Oh, I thought he was going to dive. Zombie Sion could have got that kill.
I mean,
should have gone in.
Frankly, exceL are playing so much cleaner than Team Vitality in this early game because every time they do get an advantage or they win a fight, they're getting something else on the back of it, whether it's a plate, whether it's, you know, massive summoners, whereas Vitality are just getting the kills.
Yeah, exactly. Vitality, 1,000 gold down. Here's a replay of the team fight that closed that gap, but they've already lost it.
I love the audacity to just charge the Fiddlesticks hold and, like, clear eye contact of 2 people under a tower. Like, you knew it was coming. All you could do was clench.
It would look so much better if he was wearing Union Jack, but not this time. I want to take stock of where the CS numbers are, though, Frost, because Expect is playing exceptionally well. Jiizuké steps all the way forward. Very bold, very, very bold, but gets away with it this time.
That's crazy. If that CC lands under the tower, he didn't know how many people were there in Fog of War.
Just like channeling a Crowstorm in full vision, right? It is the Vitality Bravado. Now, flash forward from kaSing. Remember, Jiizuké stepped under the tower for this. Jiizuké sidesteps essential. Sidesteps a true shot barrage. Jiizuké and the blue suede shoes. Now that's bought enough time for Cabo to turn it back around. He's going hunting for Bristle and Sejuani. Fear Beyond Death goes out. There's the tag. Follow up from Mowgli and get deleted by Cabochard's Urgot.
I do not know how Jiizuké fits in that chair with balls that big. I am just like, what is the bravado on that? Steps forward, just head tilt, it's fine.
Oh, Frost, you're not allowed to say those things.
I get 1, and that was crazy.
Oh, kudos. exceL get punished after chasing down Jiizuké, and it was Jiizuké that maybe was at fault.
He walks under the tower. They're like, we've got him, boys. This is it. They connect the Winter's Bite, and then, doesn't get the stun from the Sejuani ult, then dodges the Ezreal, dodges, I'm gonna say the Mystic Shot missed, but dodge the Ezreal ult.
Yeah, we'll go with Mrs. Dodge Perception. I mean, the Essence Flex tagging the tower as well, just so unfortunate. But nevertheless,
Forces exceL to overextend.
And this is what you were saying, I think, in the draft as well. Like, a lot of the mobility on the side of the Vitality squad, when given space and opportunity, that is the face of death, ladies and gentlemen. When given the space and opportunity, Vitality have got a lot of kill pressure and a lot of tools to use to close distances and gaps. Now, let's highlight the fact again that exceL is still in the lead. Gold lead up, Infernal Drake up. CS lead for Expect is growing, but it's at the cost of both exceL and Jeskla, who are behind their opponents.
And it bears repeating again, while Vitality did pick up the kill on the back half of that, you know, cleaning up Caedral on the Sejuani, it didn't transfer into anything. And that's kind of been the thorn in Vitality's side so far in this early game, is that when exceL are picking their fights and they're curating their fights, they're making sure that it's for something. Tower plating, free waves, Rift Heralds, Dragons.
Yeah, exactly. Rift Herald will be uncontested here. Caught a glimpse Mowgli in the negative gold there, obviously with the futures market, helping him pick up the Merc trades and the Skirmishes Saber. So Rift Herald will be secured here. Vitality too late to the party. Crowstorm is up for Jactroll, and he's got Hex Flash, but no real opportunities. I thought Mowgli or Jiizuké may want to consider a Realm Warp, but they decided against it instead. Going to give Jiizuké his blue buff.
They don't feel very confident right now in kind of their itemization, and they were late to the play, so I like the fact that Vitality actually showed some patience, not wanting to force their hand for that Rift Herald, but exceL still in a lot of control over this game.
Very, very impressive start, and just when you step back and you think about expectations for this game and how it's going to play out, especially when you see the draft, you do have to give credit to exceL Esports. Rift Herald is brought up, and Tower First Blood will be secured in this middle lane in just a moment. Shelly will help out.
Here comes Vitality, possibly
they're going to stick around. Actually, I may have to revert that statement. They're going to be backing away. The tower survives for a few seconds longer. The minions will not be able to take it down. That's a very low HP tower.
Just another stiff breeze to come and push that one down, so it should be rinse and repeat for exceL here. It's been a very clean early game so far. Still holding on to that gold lead.
Okay, as this game continues to play out, I think Vitality, once they get the 1, the 2 item spike, are going to be very scary, especially in the skirmishes. But I kind of like exceL going, you know, if they can play the patient game, if they can play the zoning game with Sej and Syndra, there's a lot of squishy targets for Vitality to pick off.
I mean, both these teams can do a lot of damage. I love this game. They know he's there.
Yep, exactly. But that's what this game's going to come down to. You know, a game of chicken. Stare your opponent in the eye and be like, there's no ways you're going to do that. Mowgli takes the blast code over once again. Now kaSing makes it up as Jeskla's just trying to wave clear. And like, the threat of a fight, the threat of an engage is what's determining this game. Jiizuké forced to Realm Warp to save the tower. This holds some level of mid-control, at least for a little while longer. And this threat is still happening. I mean, Frosk, why are they not going in?
They're looking and trying to, again, find the proper go button here, but there's the go button for Vitality.
All right, Crowstorm comes down, Mowgli jumps in, insta-stun! Caedral catches him right out of the hook shot, and kill secured by Jeskla.
And exceL sniffed out the correct play. They were patient, they gave Vitality space when they demanded it, and they found the pick in the end. And now, again, it's a pick onto a tower. They've got the wave coming in, they have 3 members available, and it should be a free objective.
Please remember how this game started with Mowgli absolutely bullying Caedral out of his own jungle. Challenging for blue, challenging for Rift Skull, challenging for camps. And Caedral brushed it off and did not care. He's responded very well. This is a great reactive Sejuani ultimate that just locks down Mowgli and is a bit of a revenge kill.
And Mowgli just thought he had hidden himself in the pit. I don't think Caedral was intending to catch the Camille with that ultimate, so unlucky timing coming off of that wall, but still a good, patient play from exceL.
Yep, 3 kills to 3. exceL extend the gold lead now. We're talking nearly 2,000. And some pretty big items starting to come in. So Manamune is stacking up for Jeskla. He's got the Frozen Fist, along with Expect. Luden's Echo picked up for exceL, while Jiizuké has got the Archangels. Working towards the Seraphs, of course. And now the next Dragon started off here. Caedral on the Ocean Drake. Expect will be taking down the second tower of the game. 2 towers to 0. 2 Dragons to 0 thus far. And this mid tower is just right for the taking.
They may be a little bit hesitant to really force this one, although I think with the tower that low, it's pretty much just a free shot.
There you go.
Simply because they don't have ultimate on Caedral. So that's why you can see the Sejuani, instead of being behind his team, he's actually just here for support, waiting on that cooldown. It will be back up very, soon, and as soon as it is, that's when exceL again can start looking very aggressively for these proactive plays.
All right, so this will be a tower trade. This is the first of the game for Vitality. There we go. Caedral finds yet another kill. It is just very, very interesting that Mowgli and Caedral have been involved in so many of these influential moments. And now here comes exceL. Unstoppable onslaught, sidestepped once again. Jiizuké does not get hit by skill shots or anything apparently. And just for the record, 1v4 kills the minion wave, sidesteps the engage, and holds onto the tower. Of course, no minions makes it a little easier, but kudos to Jiizuké.
But that's repeated picks from exceL. And again, their vision control of this game, the vision denial from Team Vitality, and Vitality's, I'm going to say, lack of caution to not be face-checking into these very dark jungles, knowing that there are so many members from exceL around, is costing them.
Well, let's see what exceL can do now as we scale into the later stages. Past 20 minutes, Baron is going to become a threat. And this is once again just the catch onto Mowgli.
And you see the pings go down on the mini-map. Vitality knew that they were in here. Mowgli obviously wants to walk in slowly. He's got his sweeper, so he's trying to clear out a lot of the aggressive vision. And speaking of aggressive, that's a 20-minute Baron.
Oh my word, are Vitality going to sneak this one? exceL may... No, he's recalling. exceL has absolutely no idea. exceL have played flawless early game, flawless laning phase. kaSing will put a ward down, only to watch Baron go down. And after 20 minutes of near-perfect response, Vitality get the Baron. That is still not enough to put them ahead in gold, but this could allow them to chase further forward. Now, exceL not going to be done. Mowgli is going to go golden, use that stopwatch to buy some time. True Shot Barrage comes out, not going to find a target. And exceL will lose that bottom tower as well. Vitality with Baron with a very cheeky play.
Classic Vitality. It's been a very scrappy game, a lot of back and forth. I do want to commend exceL's early game. Unfortunately, the one vision hole that they had was on the Baron, so it's a high risk kind of medium, or excuse me, high reward kind of medium risk play for Vitality. You just rock to the Baron, you see if they do have the vision check on it, you start it. If they start walking towards you, you just disengage. It's totally fine. But if you catch them blind like that, suddenly you're back in the driver's seat.
Exceptional decision making. And again, it is just Vitality, the core of their play style and their sort of ethos, you know? Go for it, go for the big play. And they managed to pull it off. So now the gold is still being closed, but with tower pressure and 2.5 minutes of Baron buff, this is how Vitality will need to arrest control. But remember, they're playing from a deficit, so this catches them back up to exceL.
Yeah, it's the question of what do they actually do with this Baron, and what it should do is kind of stall out exceL sieging the rest of their map, and then you want Cabo and Jiizuké to completely take control of these side lanes. Despite the fact that Vitality are technically playing this from the back foot from a gold standpoint, Ryze and Urgot are still really hard for exceL to deal with unless they throw multiple members at them.
And it's also, in my opinion, quite challenging for exceL in the big 5v5s. They've got two damaged threats, you know, obviously with Syndra and Ezreal, and, you know, exceL's going a slightly more damaged Sion build, but I want to see how they deal with what is effectively 4 or 5 damage threats on the side of Vitality. And now, of course, Baron empowered Siege. Jactroll threatening the Crow Storm over the wall. Siege on the bottom lane as well. Jiizuké with teleport and Realm Warp. He's ushering the minion wave into that bottom inner turret. And exceL and Exile just going to clear out this wave.
It's divide and conquer, but hold on, Jactroll.
All right, Jactroll's already dead. He's taken down. Now the turn. Caedral's used his ultimate for this, and kaSing is not yet here. Now Attila, he's going to jump in, dash out, flash is available. Can only stick by some time, but look at Vitality. Remember, when Vitality beat Rogue, it was through a backdoor play. They were falling behind. They were struggling, and it was Jiizuké playing the side lanes that brought Vitality back in the game.
It is hit and run League of Legends. Vitality are just trying to split up, divide and conquer this map and to tear apart this composition. You said it, Quickshot. If you look across exceL, they only have 2 damage dealers, so they're only going to thrive when they're grouped up, when they get to use their hard engage. If Vitality say, no, you never get to fight us. Our lane assignments in the side lanes, Urgot and Ryze, are still a lot for you to deal with. We can just slowly bleed you out and outmaneuver you on this map.
Oh man, so decision making is going to be so key. And if exceL can find themselves a situation where they can force a fight, you know, the next Dragon, the next Baron, one of the big objectives, and bring Vitality to them maybe, but also around those environments, that's exactly what Vitality will say, well, Jiizuké, go bot lane, dude, you know, push, get map control, and we'll do what we can to thwart the Baron.
It is still difficult to execute a 1-3-1. In the past, it was really kind of G2 and Team Vitality, some of the top teams in the LEC, then the EULCS that could do this because of how you have to manage your side waves, fog of war, the vision line underneath you. So there still is a very large Achilles heel that this does expose you to if not everyone's on the same page when you're trying to execute this strategy across the map.
Well, 5 towers to 3. Vitality is showing at this stage they can do it. They're showing they played the map well enough to sneak a 20-minute Baron. They then took the bottom inner and top inner turrets. And while they don't have any dragons to their name, the gold deficit that was climbing to 3,500 is now, in fact, in Vitality favor with 2 minutes to Baron buff.
Yeah, they closed it. Now it's going to come down to execution. And again, Vitality at this point, the gold deficit wasn't massive for what their composition wanted to do to eat up this map. Now that it's completely closed, it just makes it that much easier of a decision. You know, when they send Jiizuké and Cabochard, exceL need to make sure that they have the vision control and denial away from Vitality in their own jungle to force the fight and catch out Jactroll, Mowgli, and Attila.
Well, let's see if they can. Jactroll, as well as Mowgli, was pushing into that bottom jungle. And I want to see what Jactroll does with his Fiddlesticks. He's got the Hourglass completed. We talked about how Fiddle plus Kai'Sa allows push in the bottom lane, plus Ryze pushing mid lane allows Mowgli to go for that heavy invade style. So I think at the early game, definitely worked out, definitely allowed Mowgli to play that way. But how does it transition into this portion of the game? And will he be able to find the Terrifiers and the Silences from that Dark Wind, which can be very, very frustrating in a team fight to benefit Vitality?
At this point, I just want to see Attila and Jactroll actually play safe. If they are going to make space for Jiizuké and Cabochard, against Rogue, Vitality tried a very similar playstyle, but repeatedly Jactroll and Attila were caught off guard by Kikis's Gragas. I think they ended that game like 0-8-1.
Yeah.
Still won.
As a duo, right?
So good work, but they do have a tendency to not respect the hard engaged tools of the team that they're facing and put Vitality at disadvantages that they don't need to be at.
Okay, so it's going to be challenging it to Sejuani and Sion, especially because Caedral has hit many ults already. Let's take a look at this. Jactroll dancing on the edge of safety. Frost just nodding, grinning as Jactroll escapes with his life this time round. But look at this, 10 seconds to Baron. exceL shove out the mid lane. They don't have enough wards in their inventory to really clear and challenge the vision inside Vitality's jungle. And of course, while that's happening, a teleport, level 16 Jiizuké is pushing the bottom lane. He's pushing all the way up to the inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, and he probably is sitting on a lot of gold, I would imagine, so he's waiting for his completed death cap. Okay, no, he just bought.
700 right now. You can see 11,000.
Just a weird power spike for him to be sitting on.
9.5. Yeah,
he's got
exactly.
the Roa.
Cabo is now looking for exceL. Flash forward. Not going to find the Dane just yet. Fair beyond death. Won't get the kill as the time being. Attila dives forward. Not quite the defensive play you were hoping for. Ends up being a trade. Mid for AD. Now, exceL, what do they want to do with this situation? Attila forced backwards and Jiizuké not leaving his post.
There's not a lot that they can force with it, A, because Syndra is dead, and B, because they don't have access to the Sejuani ultimate. I think at this point, it's just, again, securing area around the Baron and making sure that Vitality wouldn't walk it to Baron. You suspect that they wouldn't, however. That wasn't the play that I was looking for from Vitality.
No, but it was the Vitality play that they were looking for. It is definitely on brand.
They gave away a huge bounty to Ezreal.
Yeah, very, very good point. How much gold is he sitting on, actually, if I take a look? 2,000 gold is what Jeskla's going to be able to spend. Got himself the Ninja Tabby in the QSS, and this will just be a replay of Attila and Cabo duoing to dunk down exceL.
And the thing is that they see that Jiizuké has grabbed 2 members, so the mentality from Team Vitality here is to say, okay, Jiizuké, he's 1v2 right now. They're going to TP to try to get back in position. We think that we've caught exceL out of position and we can burn him. Unfortunately, again, they overreach, they trade it back and forth, and in the end, I'm going to give it slightly to exceL simply because they got the gold bounty on Ezreal, who can be such a vital carry in that late game. But I mean, you can really go either way. exceL doesn't have flash now. He is a rather immobile target on the Syndra.
Super important to note, Jeskla's not spent the money yet. Teleport is on cooldown. He's still stacking up some items. Got that second tier, is working up. So Baron is live. Infernal is up in 30 seconds. And every time I look at the minimap, Vitality have just done such a good job of pushing top and bottom lane towards exceL Esports. They simply are playing like catch. Catch the wave, push it back, and Jiizuké, even though he hasn't picked up kills, you can see the 850 gold bounty because he's just farming up significantly more gold than his opponent. Up nearly 75 CS right now.
Yeah, looking at closing in on that flame horizon. That said, it's harder for Exile to pick it up. He is the Syndra, he is flashless, so we don't expect him to keep up with CS at this point. He needs to be with his team and forcing these engagements.
All right, let's take a look. Vitality,
Mowgli,
here comes the
very
Pro
deep.
Storm. Jactroll goes in, Mowgli's looking in the back for Jeskla. Jeskala's lockdown kill, and so is Exile. The third of the kill for Vitality. They have found and crushed exceL. Mowgli wants some revenge from the couple of kills he had. Flashes over the decimating smash, gets a bop from Bristle as Caedral's now running away, tries to find some sort of stun. Unstoppable Onslaught's used for a retreat, but there's enough damage to follow it up, and Vitality just crush exceL.
And exceL just don't have the experience to play this type of League of Legends in the same cohesion and synergy that Vitality have. Their ability to rip them around the map, use the Realm Warp to immediately get on top, have Mowgli positioned to start the fight. You know, you want exceL to be the wombo combo to start these aggressive engagements, not Vitality to catch you unsuspecting.
And I love this decision making. They've left Jiizuké to pick up the mid inhibitor. The minions are pushing onto the bottom inhibitor, and if needed, Jiizuké can TP in, but he doesn't need to do that yet. Vitality have got a couple of towers, they've got an inhib. They also have the ability to push on the Infernal if they want to, but it looks like exceL are going to challenge.
It looks like table scraps, frankly. The fact that exceL TPs into the Baron when he did have an available, into the Infernal when he had an available ward onto the Baron, but recognizing that they didn't have their jungler, they wouldn't be able to contest it. The best that they can hope for is double Infernal.
Oh, I love the fact that Vitality are still just playing this game that is so them, right? Very, very aggro, very in-your-face, forward-thinking. It's always the proactive play that Vitality want to make to win, not the reactive one. And exceL, on the other hand, heartbreaking that after the early game where Caedral was put behind, they looked to be in control for 20 minutes. And we'll talk about that in a moment, as this is the engage here from Jactroll.
Yeah, and you can see on your minimap the fact that Mowgli gets behind them, and then Jiizuké uses the Realm Warp to show up just in time to not only contribute to the fight, but also get that massive shutdown off of the Ezreal. And we talked about the mobility of this composition, the fact that you have Kai'Sa, who can very quickly swing around with her W and her R proc, the fact that you're dealing with a Realm Warp, with a Camille. These are all champions that work so well for the style and identity that Team Vitality love to play. And that's exactly what, you know, Furndog was talking about for exceL. They just haven't found their style and their identity yet. So it makes sense that Vitality would beat them at the game they know best.
I think that's a good point you make. You know, talking about exceL's style, when Caedral is now playing a non-stylistic jungler, in that it's a more of a tank, it's more of a team-focused pick. You know, we're not one of the carries that we've seen him pop off on. Obviously, Baron was picked up by Vitality when we were in the replay. You'll notice that Mowgli's GA is popped, so we tanked that one up just a little bit more. So not going to be available for the follow-up fights, but you know, they are coming into double Infernal, double Ocean Drake for exceL, but Vitality with Baron about 5,000 gold lead, pressure in multiple lanes, and now Jiizuké being jumped on. He flashes away. Unstoppable Onslaught comes out, and that's kaSing, and expect multiple ultimates as well as a flash traded just for Jiizuké's flash. Baron empowered Siege. Vitality feels like they're going for the win. Scout of the week will find a stun into Cabo, but there's not enough follow-up. Remember, no Glacial Fissure, no Unstoppable Onslaught, no hard engage yet. Golden from Cabo, that's great. Crowstorm comes forward. Hourglass is used. Mowgli goes all the way over the wall, chasing Jeskla, but Attila comes in with a killer instinct. He's going to clean up the fight. He's going to clean up the game, and Vitality are going to take down exceL. kaSing and exceL are running for their lives. It's a triple kill for Jiizuké. You know Vitality want to give him the Quadra. They're going to look to chase him under the fountain, as Mowgli is now putting pressure on the Nexus towers. Precision Protocol is going to do the damage, as well as the rest of Vitality. The Nexus is being focused down, and Vitality take down exceL.
So clean in that last team fight. The fact that Cabochard dodged, I think, 2 ultimates, the Ezreal ult as well as the Sejuani ult in that last fight with the Hourglass. Jiizuké, who had spent so much time into those side lanes, was level 18 when Syndra was level 15, just cresting on to level 16 at the very end. So Vitality, it was a little bit questionable in the mid-game. They swung it back when they had a 20-minute Baron.
I was just about to buy into the exceL hype at 20 minutes. At seeing how well they had controlled Vitality, how well they had tempered the aggression. And unfortunately for them, one vision play, one missed call. Not as heinous as my Union Jack call, but one missed opportunity, and that's how Vitality get the Baron to get back in the game.
It just feels like Vitality have the confidence and understanding exactly who they are. You know, if this was a series about team identity, it just came down to that exceL still have more to learn.
Yeah.
Who are they? What type of League of Legends do they like to play? Whereas Vitality, they got comfort picks.
Crystal clear. They know exactly how they play, which means you either have to have exact responses to dodge every punch they throw, or you need to hit back harder. And for a while, exceL were dodging. We've had very interesting games today. You know, Misfits and Splice showing stylistic differences and trading blows back and forth. Similar could be said for this game, but a lot more one-sided. 15 minutes of exceL style doing well, and then 8 minutes of Vitality doing well with the Baron and the win.
That said, we did expect this as a heavy favorite for Team Vitality.
Yes.
I do think that there is a bit to clean up in some of the individual decision-making. You know, Vitality were getting a lot of these aggressive trades, but it wasn't snowballing as efficiently as it could have. You know, they were just getting the kills, getting these shutdowns, but not transferring that into Dragon control, into Vision control, into Tower control.
We saw the Fiddlesticks, first time we've seen this this summer 2018. What did you make of the pick? I liked it in laning phase. I don't know if it was... I'm on the fence, basically.
I mean, I'd have to see more of it. I don't think it was the make or break of this composition.
No, of course not. But it's just when you see an interesting call like that, I always wonder, what is deemed success for a Fiddlestick support? Of course, they won the game, so maybe that's it. We do have a couple highlights that we're going to throw to in just a moment. Pick them up throughout the game, and of course it is Vitality favored. As we mentioned, they were heavy favorites, but with how well exceL started the game and played that laning phase, they continue to show that against the strong opponents, they do show up. They do make it competitive. And this is, of course, the first tower dive from Vitality.
They show that they're scrappy and they're willing to fight back. I wanted this tower dive a little bit earlier or a little bit cleaner from Vitality. It eventually came through, so they still recognize where they are strong and they get it done when it matters. This is off the back of Jiizuké. You didn't see before this play, but he was like under the tower trying to flirt with danger with the Syndra.
And manages to sidestep the true shot barrage. Jeskla tries to split the difference in terms of which direction his skill shots were going. And of course, Cabochard using the stopwatch just to get away from the Sejuani ultimate. Now, it almost set Attila up in trouble, but it did not matter. Look at the damage Attila puts down as soon as he uses the ulti.
And again, in this team fight, exceL was level 16. He just turned level 16. He had been level 15 previously. Jiizuké's level 18. He was just running through people. He had been isolated so alone on those side lanes, so much experience, so much free gold. I think flamed Horizon his opponent or got very close to it.
What I missed the first time I saw that fight was just how much damage Jeskla was able to put down onto Attila. The problem is the fight was over before he got chances to put the Mystic shots out or any of the orbs from Syndra. So player of the game, 3 options are Cabochard, Jiizuké, and Attila. Who will pick it up for the key player of the game? Head over to @LEC Esports on Twitter and vote. Interesting game. Who would you vote for?
I would definitely give it to Jiizuké. I felt like that was really the 1-3-1 or the 1-4 that it turned into for the majority of that game as the Ryze kind of running and tearing apart exceL.
I agree with that. Do the fans agree? Go vote on Twitter. Coming up next, it's time for our final game of the week, G2 Esports versus Fnatic, with Caps going up against his former team in a big showdown. Don't miss it. This is Vitality. They're going for that tower dive. Here comes the Crowstorm. Jeskla's in trouble and already dead. kaSing follows shortly thereafter. Cabo is now looking for exceL. Flash forward. Not going to find the Disdain just yet. Fair beyond Dirt won't get the kill as the time being. Attila dives forward. Not quite the defensive play you were hoping for. Jactroll goes in. Mowgli's looking in the back for Jeskla. Jeskla's locked down kill. And so is exceL. The third of the kill. Golden from Cabo. That's great. Crowstorm comes forward. Hourglass is used. Mowgli goes all the way over the wall, chasing Jeskla, but Attila comes in with a killer instinct. He's going to clean up the fight. The Nexus is being focused down, and Vitality take down exceL.
We're powered up.
Get the Baron buff power play with Shell V-Power.